Good morning, loves. Oh my goodness. So if you're like me and you actually watched the interview last night with Oprah and Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan, um, I personally woke up this morning feeling some kind of way. Um, I am sure that Prince Harry and Meghan were well aware of more than likely the backlash, if you will, um, that would come after this interview. There was already obviously backlash leading up to the interview. Um, but as a woman, not even as a black woman, okay, just as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, to watch these two people share such intimate and personal and private and painful things about what their life has truly been like, not what we've seen in photos and in articles and on the internet, but what their life has really been like over the last few years, to include something that was really, really heart-wrenching, again, just as a wife and as a mother. When Harry talks about coming home and seeing his wife breastfeed their newborn son, and she's in tears. And I thought, that's that's almost unimaginable. Okay? As someone who breastfed all my children, I could not imagine being so broken and so torn down by the life around you that in that moment of something as sweet and something as natural and maternal as breastfeeding your children, as you're breastfeeding your child, and you are crying. I couldn't fathom that. To as someone who not only has thought about taking my own life, but has attempted several times to take my own life, I know firsthand what that darkness feels like. And that's what it is. It's a darkness that literally is all consuming 24/7, 365. And when you get to the place that Megan talked about, of where no longer being here, no longer living, seems like a better way, I know what that feels like. I know what that pain feels like, and death is a very welcomed embrace from that hurt and from that pain. And to be in that space and to actually ask and seek and try and get help, and then to have no one acknowledge it, or no one really try and get you the help that it's obvious that you need. That is something that I hope folks will pay attention to, because they together somehow were able to move past that. She was able to not try and take her own life. They were able to somehow come together, find the strength, find the courage to say, we won't let this be our fate. There's power in that. They are truly choosing to use and share their pain, their anguish, in hopes of not only reclaiming their own narrative and reclaiming their own power as people, as a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a father, but they're doing it in a way that if we could just stop for a minute, if we could just stop with wanting to make this be about the gossip, stop making this want to be something that it's not, if we could not make this be about the obvious ignorance that still surrounds so many people, that racism exists, that colorism exists, that classism, sexism, all the isms, they exist everywhere. The monarch and UK and is no different. They're not somehow isolated from all the issues that every civilization, that every country has and continues to face. It's just whether or not we're going to how we're going to reconcile with it. Are we going to reconcile with it? We can first start by acknowledging it, which is something obviously many of us are okay with, others not so much. But that's, to me, not even the big takeaway. That's not the conversations that I'm hoping many people will start to have. But it is the mental torment that these two went through, and not just them, but I'm sure the people who knew them and were closest to them had to watch and perhaps couldn't do anything or were limited into what they could do. To think of Harry's journey, losing his mom at such a young age. I lost my mom 3 years ago before I turned 38. So I was a grown woman. My mom had got to see me accomplish many things in my life, and it is still a struggle. I couldn't imagine losing her at such a young age as he did, and the way that he lost his mom. To think that that does not psychologically impact him, that it doesn't leave its mark, it does. But the beauty in how the loss of his mother and how he's choosing to use it is what I hope we can all learn from. Is that the most tragic deaths, the most horrific pains that we can feel and endure and that we can go through, that we can use them for something greater, that we can use them for something higher. And that's what I really, really hope that people will maybe go back and rewatch, not pay attention to what's on the blogs, not pay attention to what's in social media, not pay attention to what undoubtedly the media will try and have us focus on, but really look at this story. Look at a man and a woman. Look at a husband and a mother. Look at a wife and her husband, as they not only be vulnerable and share what they've experienced, but how they are making their way through it. How they are making their way through it and building something for their family, but also something that hopefully we all can grow from, that we all can learn from, that we all can be empowered by. To me, that's the takeaway. And for that, I wholeheartedly thank Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan and Oprah for bringing that to us. I truly look forward to continuing to learn more about their true journey as people, not as a prince, not as a duchess, but as people, as every day knowing they go to sleep, they wake up, they put their pants on like the rest of us, they got to feed their children and kids like the rest of us, they are people at the end of the day. And the more that we can begin to see each other and the people around us as just that, as people, and as people that even though they may be smiling, they may be laughing, of us taking a minute to acknowledge they could also be in pain. They could also be struggling with something. And so maybe when we ask, how are you? And we get the, I'm fine, that we ask again, how are you really? And so, again, it's the beginning of a new week, and that would be my ask for us. Call somebody, talk to somebody, maybe yourself, and say, hey, how are you? And how are you really? How are you really? That's what we all should be mindful of, is how are we really? So happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. And again, I had to get that off my chest. So sorry for the long rant. But again, enjoy this beautiful, blessed Monday. And thank you again so much, Prince Harry and Duchess Megan and Oprah, for really was just a very powerful 2 hours of television. One of the most powerful I've had in quite a while. And that's saying a lot considering the documentaries and things that have come out and last year with 2020. But I really appreciated it that time to not only reflect but to also think about again the beauty and the power in our pain and what we can do with it if we choose to do something with it. So blessings.